Hi guys, I wanted to hop on as promised and give you an explanation of sort of how I come up with our weekly budget and our weekly meal plan and food budget. So I got a lot of questions about that last night of what I posted. You guys thought that 70 something bucks was all I had for food, but it wasn't. So I'm going to take a step back and kind of explain my process and how I do things. Okay guys, so a big step that I was kind of skipping / lacking before, which is actually really important, and I'll show you. I would take stock of everything that I currently had. So if I had it in the refrigerator, it kind of ended up on a little list, and then I knew exactly what I had and maybe kind of what I needed or what I didn't have. And plus it helped me go through my pantry and the freezer and the refrigerator and clean out a lot of stuff. So then what I did is I kind of say, okay, based on whatever it is we're doing this week, and then also because we have been on Weight Watchers, it kind of makes things a tad bit easier because I kind of pick the meal plans that are within our points. Then I kind of take a rough draft of what I think we're going to eat, and I kind of mix it around a little bit, leftovers and things like that. And then I talk to Ricky and I say, okay, here's what I have, give me some suggestions, etc. And then we kind of finalize it, and it becomes this. So for us as a family of 3, I keep or try to keep our food budget to $130. Now that doesn't include toilet paper, dish detergent, etc. That really is sort of our food. So now the reason you saw the cash envelopes is because I am actually a huge fan of the Budget Mom, and I like her workbooks, her worksheets, her method, and we are going to become an all-cash family in 2020. So we're in the process of paying off some debt, which again, another YouTube video I'll get into for that. And we have things that we're trying to save up for: investment property, car fund. We want to do one fun trip this year, so we're thinking Disney for Enzo towards the end of the year. So we want to be able to pay all cash for that again. So when you see my envelopes, that's what's in them. Now the reason there wasn't the amount of cash that I had saved in there was because the way my day was going, I ordered from Walmart for pickup. So I charged it on there, and then if I take my $130, I spent $68.37 at Walmart, which left me $61.63, and then I ran out to Publix for a few things that I won't buy at Walmart, and I spent $15.80. So I have $45.80 left in my budget, and I think I have everybody's meals planned for the week. Now my variables will be Enzo, really. So will be his milk, his almond milk that he drinks, and maybe some of his meals. He really will eat a lot of what we eat, but sometimes he's pickier, and again, he's only 2.5, so I want to make sure he eats what he eats. But I'm thankful that he likes vegetables and stuff. So that's kind of my variable in there. So that $45, let's say I make it to next Friday without having to touch it, will roll over. So she has these cute envelopes. I ran out of colored ink, so I did them in black and white, but you put them together yourself, and she has a lot of free downloads for them, or you can pay for some. And then the other piece I like, and we'll get into in another video, is her budget worksheets. So we budget per week because Ricky gets paid weekly. So that's how I do our budgets, and my income is a variable, so that is sort of depending on what's closing that month, I'll add that into that monthly budget, but I never really count my commission check until I got it, because that's something you learn in Real Estate 101, because anything can go wrong in the last minute. So that is really how I start to do that. And it's, like I said, for our meals, if you guys want great ideas, Pinterest has a ton of them. So the other cash envelopes that I have for us is food, gas, miscellaneous, household, beauty, the kitty, because we have a cat, fun, and then Enzo. And our fun is really sort of date night, things we want to do, etc. And then Enzo is really toys he wants, museums we go to, things like that. We like to keep that in for him. So whatever I have left over from food, gas, all the stuff that needs to be paid and paid down, then goes into those envelopes. So last Friday, we were saving up, and we actually paid off one of the credit cards. So now we're down one more. And like I said, I'm very thankful we do not have a ton of debt, but we do. So usually the last week of the following month, so towards the end of December, I plan out for what I can our January monthly budget. So like I said earlier, I do by week for Ricky. So each week he gets for me as well because he will pick up shifts, pick up soup shifts. Money will be more than we thought he was coming in because he very rarely just works a regular 40-hour week. So that's why I try to fill out what I can and plan ahead, and then anything extra now goes towards those bills. So it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie. The last 2 weeks trying to get everything all organized and really ready for 2020 and those goals was kind of mentally exhausting. I usually do it, but we never stick to it. So it'll last a week or two, and then life gets crazy, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, it's this, it's that, etc. But once we paid off that one card, it really was motivating, and we really sat down and buckled and realized that, okay, this isn't that hard. And we really want to have that all cash. I don't mind credit cards. I don't think they're a bad thing. We use them when we need to use them. I get some good rewards for them. Sometimes I'll put the food on them and then pay it off or whatever, but I don't want that debt. I just don't, and neither does he, which is a good thing. We're on the same page. So the goal is to get rid of it, and I really think if we stick to these plans, we can. So twofold on why I started the series, again, because I was getting a lot of questions from clients on how do I save for a down payment, and now once I'm in the house, how do I not become house poor? How do I make sure I have savings for something else? And while I am, full disclaimer, that I am no financial guru, I have made 1,000,001 mistakes throughout my life. I do at least have learned from those mistakes and know where I want to go and what I want to do. So I'm hoping that through my journey, it can kind of help you guys out to see like, okay, it's doable, it's not doable. It is completely doable. So each week, what I think I'm going to do is sort of go through and say, okay, this was the budget. This is what I stuck to. This is where I went over. This is why I went over. This is what I had left over. Here's a trick I learned, etc. And the same thing for the meal plan. And if you guys are interested in what I have for my meal plans, again, it's all Weight Watchers, but it's a yummy Weight Watchers. I am more than happy to share it with you if that's something that you're interested in. So I'm thinking with this series, I will sort of split it up into 3 sections for us. So sort of that finance budgeting, you can see what I do, what I use, who I really like, who has great tips, how I get through the budget, and then sort of that, I don't want to say fitness and food piece of it, but really that, because if you look back or you ask anybody, there's such a correlation between success you have in your business and in your workforce and your personal life related to your health and how you are. And it's not about being skinny and fit, although I miss being skinny and fit. I'm not going to even lie about it. But last year was such a doozy for both of us, and I am just looking forward to feeling normal and good in my skin and in my body again. And this time around, it's taking a lot more work than it has and all the time as ever before. And I know it's because all of the hormonal changes that my body's gone through. Plus I'm 42, it's not the same as when you're trying to lose it when you're 30 or even 20. So I'll take you guys along on that piece with us because they correlate to everything. And then I'm thinking adventure, family and adventure. I mean, we both work like crazy and we have a 2.5-year-old. And while I'm thankful for my parents, we don't have a sitter, on deck, and Enzo doesn't go to school yet. So finding time to keep our marriage healthy and happy, it takes work. I'm happy. I have 0 complaints, but I think I have 0 complaints because we both put in effort and time. And as you know, that gets tricky when life gets busy. So I'm looking forward to, again, another healthy 2020 where we can start going back on our adventures and doing fun things together as a family and as a couple. So as we save up and share and become an all-cash family, I want to take you guys along on that journey with us.